Hi, what's up, everybody? Hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. I got another suggestion for a YouTube video about doing player breakdowns, Major League player breakdowns, I assume. Blake Lewis, if you're out there, shout out to you. I appreciate the feedback and these suggestions. I think it's a great idea because I love hitting, I love hitters, I love watching hitters, I love watching great hitters. I do this stuff every single day with my in-person lessons, breakdown hitters all day. So this is great. And I have a little bit more time on YouTube. Oh, before we get going, if you don't already, if you're watching this and you don't follow me on Instagram at JadenFineBTB, go do that. Stop the video, follow me on JadenFineBTB on Instagram, because that'd be sick. Free content, short form, every day we post it. It's good stuff. If you haven't followed me here, follow me right now. Go down there and press the button. Coach RAC is the first one. I had one of my players bring him up the other day because he was wearing batting gloves. Quick story time about me, Coach RAC. I don't know him as Coach RAC. I know him as Robert Anthony Cruz. Okay, we were in the same draft class together. We both played with the Nationals, and I'm not telling this story for clout. I just love the guy. Robert Anthony Cruz. I called him Cruzy. One of my best friends in pro ball, Quade Tomlin, gave him the nickname RAC. Robert Anthony Cruz. I called him Cruzy. We're both from California. We both shared Cali vibes, I guess. When people say don't meet your heroes or you shouldn't idolize players, most of the time I agree. But if your idol's Coach RAC, amazing. One of the nicest human beings I've ever been around. Legitimately, the way he is on Instagram, it's not a front. He's not playing a character. That's the way he is. Amazing person. And he was a damn good player. That kid could hit, and he still hits. And you're going to find out why he breaks in banana ball. And I'm not a huge fan of banana ball, but I'm a huge fan of Robert Anthony Cruz. My little spiel. Getting into the swing, we're breaking down the swing the homer that he hit in the Tampa Bay football stadium the other day. Absolutely mollywopped. We'll just play the video all the way through. Okay. Absolute G-hack. Absolute G-hack. I assumed that the count he was in a leverage count, up in the count 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, or 0-0. No, it was a 2-2 count. I love that in banana ball, there's no concept of, okay, you're choking up and no striking with 2 strikes. I think that's hilarious. This was an absolute memo. Getting going, racking it back all the way to the stance. Notice here, you got to keep this in mind. Knees, hips, shoulders stacked, nod to the catcher. Great spot, good posture spot, butt back, chest forward. I'm a huge fan of that. Obviously, if you follow me on Instagram, you've heard me talk about that a ton. Keep in mind, really important here is the posture in his setup. Watch you see how his knees, hips, and shoulders are stacked, right? Keep that in mind as he goes through his load. So there's a load, knobs to the catcher. We'll draw this line for reference. We'll take him to the top of his leg kick. Notice how in the pickup, a couple things that I love. One, at the top of the leg kick, the knob is getting set to the catcher, right? He's ready to hit early. He's seeing the baseball out of the pitcher's hand. And that's a big thing that I talk about a lot with most of my younger guys, for sure, because guys that feel late, most of the time there's extra knob movement going on after the kick, right? After the top of the leg kick. I'm sure in banana ball, those guys, banana ball's tricky for me, man. It's funny because it's like globetrottery, but those dudes played. Like most of those guys played professional baseball. They were Division I athletes. Those guys aren't no punks, right? Those guys are throwing cheddar. So you got to get going early, right? So there at the top of the kick, the knobs to the catcher. He's still pretty much stacked up top, which I love, and zero tension in the shoulders. And if I rack this back, I drew that line for a reason. That line on his back leg, he's not touching it. There's no rock back, which I love. A negative move in the load, when you lose space back, a couple things can happen. One, you can get stuck in your back leg. Not fun. That's spin city, right? If you get stuck back there, you'll kind of spin on your back leg. Thing two that happens is you jump forward, right? Think of it like a jump, like you're jumping trying to dunk a basketball. You'll load your quad and you'll jump out of it, right? Loading the quad, exploding up. And in this case, it would be a move forward. I lost my train of thought. Oh, and thing three that can happen, sorry about this, is a lot of head movement, right? If your eyes are moving back, they have to come forward. If you're crashing forward, you're going to lose space, your eyes are going to move, and the perception of the baseball is going to move. So if you're a guy who's facing velo, that's going to be tricky, right? If your eyes are moving a ton. So amazing job in the load. Another two things that you can do that you can see to know if you're loading efficiently is the back knee and the back hip, right? So we'll get him to the top of the kick. I made a video about this the other day on Instagram. See how the back knee starts to work towards the catcher, right? See how the back hip is starting to crinkle, right? The jersey and the hip. Huge telltale signs that you're loading your back hip efficiently. So that's phenomenal. Moving forward in the load, Coach RAC tipping the barrel, which is fine. There's big leaguers for 50 years, 100 years almost, that have tipped the barrel. The key here is that when he gets to foot strike, when he gets his foot down, and I'll get it to him here, see how the knob's to the catcher, right? If I would have an issue with the tip, if when his front foot got down, when his front heel hit the ground, the knob was still tipping forward, right? Because if your knob to the catch, if your foot's in the ground and your barrel's in front of your head, you have to work your barrel all the way around your noggin, which will create some length. It's gonna be a longer swing, right? It's gonna take a longer time to get the barrel to the baseball, and it's slower, and there's gonna be length in there, right? And it's gonna cause a lot of inconsistency with barrel accuracy, which obviously we need barrel accuracy when you're facing a guy throwing hard or guys with different spins, right? So like I said, that tip, he gets into the ground in a really, really good spot. We'll use the universal hit symbol here that I love to show to all my clients. And the camera's kind of to the side, right? So it's not perfectly straight on, but this will do. Notice, remember the lines that I drew in the stance. Knees, hips, shoulders stacked. Pick up. Knees, hips, shoulders stacked. There's an interview with Mookie Betts out there with his old hitting coach in Boston. He was talking about how if you can keep your shoulders level above the baseball, the barrel is going to be much more consistent. Your contact, your percentage of contact, quality contact is going to go up tremendously. So we'll get him into the ground. An incredible amount of torque and force being generated in his core. He does an amazing job of loading and turning from the core. You can see the crinkles in his jersey. Let me get my lines here. See the crinkle in the jersey, right? Talk about getting to a powerful position. Now he starts to turn here, getting into layback. That's exactly where you want to be with the barrel. And I tell a lot of my guys that lead arm, so Coach Cruzy's right-handed, right? I explain the lead arm movement to my hitters like a frisbee throw, right? So if you're going to throw a frisbee with your right hand, the frisbee throw is just like a swing, right? The lead arm should work like you're throwing a frisbee to the middle of the field. So if you took the bat away and you saw him turn, it looks like he's throwing a frisbee to center, which is phenomenal. So there's contact, eyes down behind the barrel. It doesn't get much better than that. Notice how, we'll rack it back a little bit, no pun intended. See how the barrel angle matches the shoulder angle? Phenomenal, right? The barrel angle should match the shoulder angle at contact. The barrel is just an extension of the arm, right? If he was level with the shoulders and his head was kind of upright versus holding his posture, he'd probably spin off this baseball or yank it foul or top spin it. And we'll see in a second, he did not top spin this baseball. It was just annihilated. There's contact. Beautiful finish here, really working against the front leg. I'm impressed with his ability to have a leg kick and, having a barrel tip and him still getting into the ground. And once that heel lands, there is no slide forward. That heel is down, the front foot and the front hip are the brake, and he is rotating hard against that front leg. You can see the torque that he's generating with his back, with his turn, it's pulling the back foot forward. And people who say squish the bug, or some people who say you should squish the bug, people who say you should keep your foot in the ground, people who say you should scissor kick, doesn't really matter, right? In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. RAC kind of scissors back and forward a little bit. He's not, I guarantee you, he's not thinking about kicking that foot back and forward. He's not trying to scissor his back foot. The scissor move is a byproduct of generating force efficiently with direction to the middle of the field. If he had no direction and he spun against his front leg, he would kick his heel out and he would kind of spin, right? More squish the bug, I guess. But because, like I said, he's bracing against that front side, he is generating force to the middle of the field, which in turn, that back foot kind of kicks back, which is totally fine. Another beautiful thing that I notice in this swing that I teach a lot of my guys is the sticky finish, right? I teach a lot of my hitters, a lot of my guys who either lose control of the barrel, mostly younger hitters, or guys who like to roll over a lot, guys who get a little bit too whippy across their front hip. I'll tell them to finish the swing and stop the bat before it touches your back, right? If you are stopping the bat before it touches your back, you're subconsciously applying brakes in your core. In turn, it's going to be easier for you to get the barrel out to the big part of the field, right? Notice how RAC's head stays on the baseball, and he's sticking that finish. I call it the sticky finish. I love it. I love the sticky finish. I'm a huge fan of it. And then there's a beautiful bat flip. He knew immediately. Helmet flip, hair out. I wish I had flow like that. We'll go to the next video. This angle is fantastic. We can really see a great angle. When he separates, he's picking up. When the pitcher separates, Cruzy's picking his foot up. At pitch release, beautiful. He is at the top of his leg kick, ready to go, really seeing the baseball. And from here, you can really see his chest. He's not internally rotating super far. I'm a huge fan of keeping the lead shoulder towards the release point. If he internally rotated too far and you saw both of his numbers clearly, it'd be too far. He'd have to fight around his body. He would lose room, right? He would lose space. He would spin, right? The opposite of in is out. So for a lot of my guys that go too far in, they have to make up for it by bailing with the chest. There's no bail there. You can really see the clean path that he creates, the space in his landing there for his hands to work. Beautiful position. You can really see the posture there. Excellent spot. Knob to the catcher. Doesn't get much better than that. Ball's about halfway to you. So good rule of thumb, foot should be down in the ground as the ball's halfway to you. That means you're on time. Here's the turn. Ooh, and a kind of a cutter, a hard cutter that backed up over the plate. Not a good pitch. Shouldn't have thrown it there. RAC punished it. Beautiful turn. You can really see the chest, the shoulder angle and the barrel angle matching your contact, which is fantastic. Eyes behind get rid of those lines. Eyes behind the barrel, really seeing the baseball. Ay, ay, ay. And notice, guys, I see this a lot in my hitters in person. Posture, so important. Starts tilted, loads tilted, lands tilted, and rotates around that line sideways. A lot of my guys, they'll get to contact, and as soon as they get to contact, they'll come up out of it and get super level with their shoulders, causing a lot of misses across, right? RAC doesn't do that. He gets through this baseball really, really well. You can see the recoil of his hips as he gets into his front side, which is crazy. See how the hips just stop, right? Creating momentum from the ground into the core, into the barrel. Applying brakes in the core against the front side, getting the barrel out with tremendous velocity, which is fantastic. Another angle, the beautiful bat flip. This guy's sad. These guys are admiring it. Last view here, kind of a fan view. And here you can tell, great angle. I tell my guys all the time, the party's out front. Don't be tardy to the party. The party's out front. maybe not 2 and 2 in your games, but up in the count, 0-0 count. Don't swing harder to generate bombs, right? You don't swing harder to hit the ball further. Take the same swing, see the ball a little further out front, catch it a little bit further out in front of your front foot. That way, when you're holding your posture right, so you're not coming up out of it, so you're not spinning off it. But changing that contact point will affect you'll basically catch it on the upswing, right? And you're going to be able to leverage that ball and drive it a little bit easier versus things that, guys that see the baseball really, really deep. If you catch it too deep, it's going to lower your launch angle, right? Because you're catching it kind of on the downswing. Here, you can really see that's out in front of his foot. He's making contact out in front of his foot. He was obviously loading to see it out in front of his front foot and to do damage, and he did, and that ball was destroyed. Ay. Ridiculous. And then in turn, get into that spot. Fantastic. I think the key takeaways here is 1, don't get cheated, ever, before 2 strikes, right? Before 2 strikes, don't get cheated. Take your A swing. 2, regardless of what your swing looks like, give yourself time to get into the ground. There. Give yourself time, load on time, give yourself enough time to load to get you into a position to deliver the best blow possible. Plain and simple. If you're going to be late and you have a kick, or if you have some rhythm, if you're late, you're not going to be able to get the barrel out. It's not going to be as fun. Takeaway number 3. Swing, have controlled chaos, but continue to hold good positions in your swing. A lot of guys that swing hard, like RAC was swinging hard. He was swinging his butt off. But he's still getting to good positions. He's still, hitting against his front side. He's not spinning off the baseball. He's still holding his direction to the middle of the field. And I can tell all those things by the way he's moving, right? You can tell by the result, obviously, too, but the way he's moving. Super, super important. And that's something that you establish early on in batting practice. I tell my guys all the time, I'm going to make another video about this on Instagram. You got to earn the homers, especially in BP. You got to earn your homers. You got to earn your homer rounds. Early on, feel what you need to feel, get to good positions. And then the last couple rounds, then you can let it fly. Party out front. Shoot, man. That's all I got. Coach RAC is the man. This swing is awesome, and he's killing it in banana ball. It seems like every week he's hitting a ball 680 feet. And RAC's awesome. And you should buy his batting gloves, and you should go to banana ball games and get his autograph. And when you tell him that you went, tell him Jaden sent you. RAC, if you see this, I appreciate you. You're awesome. Keep raking. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, like this video, comment, share it. Go on Instagram, follow me there at JadenFineBTB. Subscribe to me here. If you're looking for online training, if you want eval breakdowns, drill packages, drill plans, mindset training, daily, stuff just like this, in-depth on your swing, follow me on Instagram, DM me eval, so I know that you came from this video. It's pretty cool. I know I can help you. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Like this video, comment, and share it. Let's hit more doubles.